Folks, we're normally joining you on a Friday, but today is a Tuesday, and today is a day to be irritated and to take action. If you are watching our live show across Facebook, across YouTube, across LinkedIn, pay attention. They are coming for us this session like never before. If you recall, last session, there were 76 anti-LGBT bills. Today, there are nearly 100. One big one is going to be her. That's why we're doing this advocacy alert to get your attention on this matter. There's a URL right above my head that is a pre-printed form that you can fill out. You can just hit complete form with like you do for all your DoorDash and everything else that you do, and it will automatically send a message to your in particular elected representative that will address some of the bills that are going on. But in particular, this Thursday in the Senate, there is a hearing on SB 12. SB 12 is the drag tax bill. This is their attempt to outlaw or to make extraordinarily difficult and to make businesses suffer. That's right. Texas is going to make businesses pay a fine. It is time that we stand up and we do something. We stood at the Capitol, if you recall, in February, where we did a statewide LGBT chamber advocacy day. On that day in particular, we were joined by our partners from Houston, from Dallas, from San Antonio, and we were denied. We were told that we were going to be denied in an official capacity any kind of recognition on the House or Senate floor. This is a ceremonial, kind of fluffy moment that they recognize, make it up, the Rattlesnake Association of Texas, whatever it is that happens to be there that day, they typically recognize them in the House and Senate chambers. We were told that we were going to be denied access to just a general ceremonial recognition because you know why? They're busy drafting this kind of garbage. SB 12 will hold commercial enterprises. Look at the language of a commercial enterprises or the presence of child, a civil and criminal offense. A civil or criminal offense. So we need you to go to that link. Let me find it. We need you to go to that link right above my head here. TexasLGBTchambers.com/toolkit. That link will automatically generate for you to be able to populate a letter to your elected representative to say no to this type of hateful legislation, this type of, and not only anti-business LGBT, but let's think about Texas for a minute. Texas proclaims to be open for business, always saying business, low tax, great place to do business. This is a tax on business that is doing what they can to help prop up in a time when businesses are trying to come back from COVID, when they are trying to reestablish who they were, when they're trying to recover, they're trying to pay back loans. The state of Texas is including them in a drag tax. Why? You tell me. You tell me why. Colton, thank you so much for putting that in the chat. So in the chat just below me, you'll see the link for that as well. I'm a little fired up today because you know what? It's time. They tried to come for us last session, and we stood together. And I got to tell you, friends, it's not as noisy this time. I need to see you out at the state capitol. I need to see you up testifying. If you don't know how, call us. We'll work with you. You don't know how, call our friends over to Quality Texas. They'll work with you. We'll get you up there. We'll get you set up to be able to testify. But look at the language. Look at the language in this bill that I have on the screen. A male performer exhibiting as a female or a female performer exhibiting as a male who uses clothing, makeup, or other similar physical markers, who sings, lip syncs, dances, and otherwise performs before an audience. So this particular bill is very covertly saying drag performers. But you know what my favorite thing about this bill? If there can be a favorite thing, is look what else it would catch up. Look at that ugliness. That is a sport that I don't understand. But here's the guy who is in long hair, makeup, scantily clad, performing in front of an audience. So I'm here to say that if this bill will eliminate this kind of garbage, I'm glad. But this is the extreme that our state is going through right now. The extreme by putting these bills out. I'm a mother. I didn't take my children to one of these types of shows. You know why? Because parents choose. Parents can choose. It's not like you're going to be sitting in a restaurant one day and a drag queen show is just going to appear in front of you. No. That business has advertised. That business is saying, please come in on Sunday. We have a drag brunch. It's not going to sneak up on a parent. When at a time when our state legislature has an economic surplus, and at a time when our education system is one of the worst in the nation, there are over 100 anti-LGBT bills filed. This is what your tax dollars are going for. This is what your elected representatives are doing. If you do not speak out, either as an LGBT person or as a business owner, then you can't say you weren't told. You can't say that nobody warned us. It's right here in plain language. In plain language. Contact your elected representatives. You can do it through the link at texaslgbtchambers.com/toolkit. We make this really easy. When you go to this page, it will say for you to fill out a form with your name and your address. And then based on your address, it will automatically send that letter to your specific elected official. I can tell you, friends, I see the opposition at the Capitol every day. I see some of our colleagues and our friends working really hard to beat this down, but we need your support. If you are a small business owner, if you're a large business owner, if you're a hotelier, if you're a restaurant owner, if you're a bar owner, this is going to impact you. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you for sending that. Do your part. It takes a second. The form literally will auto-populate with your information. Do yourself a favor and make sure that you are standing up for your community and your loved ones. Drag is an art. It's an art form. What's the next form of art they're going to come for? Something else they don't agree with? At what point do we stop letting our state legislature tell us how to live? What happened to Texas being a maverick state, right? Where it's freedom, do what you want to do. We're Texas. We were a republic once. But now they're governing what I can put in my business. Now they're governing what is a performance, what is an art form. We won't even get into what they're doing with women. Right? We won't even get into that. We won't even get into what they're doing about schools and what they're going to allow to be taught to our children. We won't even get into that. We will get into the fact that they are spending an exorbitant amount of time legislating about drag performance. Did you ever think we'd get here? What in the... I mean, seriously. I'm enraged, and I want you to be enraged too. I want you to go to texaslgbtchambers.com/toolkit. Hillary said it herself. It takes just a second. It's super easy to do. It auto-populates. It sends that message. It is not as difficult as you would think to influence public policy. It just takes your voice. And that voice can come in the form of those emails from those advocacy alerts. Come join us Thursday at the state capitol. Sign up to testify. If you don't want to sign up to testify, sign up on the little kiosk that says that you oppose this legislation. It is time for your voices to be heard, because I'm telling you, folks, this session, and I said it last session, and I said it the session before, this session is the worst session ever for the LGBT community. And if we don't continue to be vigilant. We will say that again next session for what leftover rights that we have. I'm not trying to scare you on this day, but I'm trying to scare you a little bit. I'm trying to tell you that the proverbial is hitting the fan, and it is time to act. Thursday, SB 12 will be heard in the state Senate. Show up. Be there. Do your part. Thank you, Hillary. I agree totally. It's not hard. Don't be scared of that building. Don't ever be scared of a state capitol. Don't ever be scared of a federal building. Those are your houses. They're made for you. They're made for you to come in, for your voice to be heard. And the way I always think about it is if you ever thought of an elected official or somebody who works in there and you're like, how in the world did that dingbat get elected? They're in that building every day. So you go in that building. You advocate. You show your voice. You do these advocacy alerts. Send them out to your friends and family. Copy that link, TexasLGBTQchambers.com/toolkit. Put it on your social media. You can go to our Facebook page and reshare it. Be a part of what's going on. Because I can tell you, next session, I don't want to have to say this is the worst session ever. But I say that every session. Because every session, if we don't show up, the next one they pile more and more on. The language in these bills is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. SB 12. There is only one person on a state affairs committee that is on our side. We're a nonpartisan organization, but there is only one person on that state affairs committee that is even remotely interested in hearing. You've got to make your voices heard. You've got to give that elected official support. Fill out that notice. Share it with your friends and family. We cannot continue to have attacks on our community and now attacks on our businesses that support these communities. Do your part. Make your voice heard. Get engaged. Get involved. If you need help, contact us here at the Chamber at info@Austin LGBT Chamber. Contact our friends over at Equality Texas. Contact our friends at Texas Competes. We are all up there working together. Our friends over at Tent. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a whole host of others, but be engaged, be involved. Find an advocacy group that you find comfort with, and we will show you the ropes. But I'm here to tell you that it's time. It's time for us to do our part. If you can't hear me out there for the seats in the background, it is time to get out and advocate. Let's do our part together. I'll come back on here on another day and we'll share some fun. We'll play some games. We'll do the things we do. We'll highlight our businesses. But I am concerned about the direction of our state. I'm concerned about the tone and tenor that our elected officials feel like they can just take. That it is okay to discriminate. It is okay to write that into legislation. Not only to discriminate against us as a community, but to discriminate against our business partners, our restaurants. And I'm not talking about gay bars. I'm talking about the local hotel that does a Sunday drag show. I'm talking about your local coffee shop that are straight owned, if you will, that are ally owned. Those businesses are going to be impacted. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. The house is falling. The roof is on fire. It is time for us to act. There are more anti-LGBT bills filed this session than in any other session in Texas history. TexasLGBTchambers.com/toolkit. If it takes you more than a minute, I'd be surprised. Do your part. Help us out. Share this with your friends and family. Thursday, this will be heard on the Senate floor. You can tune in to watch the chaos, but we'd rather have you up there by our sides helping us advocate. So if you see my face up there, come find me. I'm Tina Cann. I'm your Austin LGBT Chamber. Sorry for the tone and tenor of today. It's not as fun and poppy as we normally are, but it's time to act. It's time to act, and we need your help, and we need your support. Text us, lgbtchamber.com/toolkit. Thank you, everybody. See you at the Capitol.